They taught you that responsibility is a virtue. They told you that owing no man is the ultimate mark of a respectable citizen. From the moment you were old enough to understand the concept of a transaction, you were fed a morality of scarcity. You were told to work, to save, and to pay your debts. But in the high cathedrals of power, responsibility is a word used to describe the predictability of a servant. The elite do not want you to be wealthy. They want you to be reliable. They want you to be the kind of man who spends his best years, his highest energy, and his sharpest focus paying off a mortgage for a house he only sees when he is too tired to enjoy it. They want you to fear debt like a sin, because a man who fears debt is a man who can be kept in a cage of labor for 40 years. While you are celebrating the freedom of having no balance on your credit card, the sovereign minds, the architects of the world, are using debt as a surgical tool to extract the wealth of entire nations. In the next minutes, we will strip away the moral illusions of the modern financial system. We will examine the invisible hand that keeps the masses in a state of perpetual good behavior, and we will reveal the forbidden mechanics that the elite use to turn debt into the ultimate weapon of sovereignty. Welcome to the reality of the rigged game. To understand your current position, you must understand the history of bondage. Debt is not a financial invention, it is a psychological one. In ancient civilizations, debt was the primary method of social control. In the Code of Hammurabi, debt was a matter of life and death. If you could not pay, you became a debt slave. You, your wife, and your children belonged to the creditor. The transition from a free citizen to a piece of property was instantaneous. The elite of the ancient world realized something profound. A man who is chained physically can revolt, but a man who is chained by a ledger will work harder than any slave ever would. He will police himself. He will wake up early and stay late, driven by the internalized fear of the due date. As the centuries passed, the chains became invisible. In the Middle Ages, the elite controlled the land, feudalism. In the Industrial Age, they controlled the factories, capitalism. But in the 21st century, they control the future value of your labor, financialism. Today, the credit score is your master. It is a digital quantification of your obedience. A high score tells the system that you are a profitable host for their parasitic interest. It tells them that you will keep working, keep paying, and never question the morality of a system that requires you to spend your life paying for a car that loses half its value before your first oil change. The masses use debt to buy consumables, liabilities. The elite use debt to buy production, assets. This is the fundamental divide of the human race. The education system focuses on arithmetic. The elite focus on geometry. Most people view money as a 1-to-1 ratio. I work an hour, I earn $1. To get $2, I must work 2 hours. This is linear thinking, and it is the fastest way to stay poor. The elite understand leverage, the art of moving a mountain with the strength of a finger. Let us look at the mathematics of a sovereign investment. Imagine you have $100,000. If you invest this money into a business that returns 10%, you make $10,000. This is a linear return. But if you understand the invisible hand, you use that $100,000 as a 20% deposit. You take a loan of $400,000 from the bank at a 4% interest rate. Now you control a $500,000 asset. If that asset grows by the same 10%, your profit is $50,000. You pay the bank their 4% interest on the $400,000, which is $16,000. On your original investment of $100,000, your return is not 10%, it is 34%. The elite do not care about owing money. They care about the spread, the difference between the cost of the debt and the return on the asset. While you are saving pennies in a bank account that earns 1%, the bank is lending those same pennies to an investor who is making 34%. The bank is not your friend. The bank is a broker of life force. They take yours and they sell it to someone who knows how to use it. In the world of the masses, taxes are a certainty. In the world of the elite, taxes are a choice. The tax code in almost every modern nation is designed to incentivize one thing: the movement of capital. The government punishes labor because labor has no choice. A worker cannot move his body to a tax haven as easily as an investor can move his digital currency. Therefore, the tax code is written to reward the debtor. When you earn a salary, you are taxed on every dollar. But when you own a property or a business that has grown in value, you do not sell it. Selling is a taxable event. Instead, you refinance. You go to the bank and say, "My asset is now worth $2 million. Lend me $1 million against it." The bank gives you a check for $1 million. This is cash in your hand. You can buy a yacht, a new business, or a private jet. But here's the secret: a loan is not income. You pay 0% tax on that $1 million. While the hard-working middle class is losing 40% of their income to the state, the sovereign elite are living a life of tax-free luxury using borrowed money, while their assets continue to compound. Debt is their get-out-of-jail-free card. It is their shield against the redistribution of wealth. They are getting richer through debt. You are staying poor through responsibility. There's one final pillar of this system, and it is the most sinister of all: inflation. Inflation is a silent tax on the dreamer. If you save $100,000 today, in 10 years, that money might only buy you what $50,000 buys you now. The government is stealing your time by devaluing your currency. But if you are a debtor, a sovereign debtor, inflation is your greatest ally. When you borrow $1 million to buy an apartment building, that debt is fixed. It stays $1 million. But as inflation rises, the value of the building rises. The rent you charge rises. But the debt shrinks in real terms. You are paying the bank back with garbage money, dollars that are worth less than the ones you borrowed. In a high inflation environment, the savers are the biggest losers in history. Their virtue is turned against them. Their security is their downfall. Meanwhile, the elite, who are heavily leveraged in hard assets, see their net worth explode as their debts effectively evaporate. The system is designed to transfer wealth from the stable to the leveraged, from the moral to the strategic. The hand is always moving. It is moving right now. You can continue to play the game they taught you. You can be the good citizen who works for a salary, saves in a depreciating currency, and pays his taxes with a smile. You can be the fuel for the machine. Or you can undergo the sovereign shift. You can stop seeing debt as a burden and start seeing it as a bridge. You can stop working for money and start acquiring the assets that own the money. It will not be easy. It requires a cold, calculated rejection of everything you were told was right. But the alternative is to spend your life in a cage, paying interest on a life you never truly owned. The invisible hand can either crush you or lift you. The choice, as always, is yours. Welcome to the Sovereign Mind.